The FBI finding 73 police officers intentionally killed in 2021, a whopping 59% increase from 2020. This as New York is hit with more smash and grabs, brazen thieves seen on camera stealing high-end purses from a Louis Vuitton store in Manhattan. And then in Soho, over $48,000 worth of luxury goods stolen from a Celine boutique in broad daylight, that downtown in Soho. Joining me right now is New York Congressman Andrew Garbarino. He is a member of the Homeland Security and Small Business Committees. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. What can you do about all of this?
Well, right now, on a federal level, the Homeland Security Committee, we're looking at trying to get people to enforce the law. We sent a letter just last week to the Attorney General. We want him to enforce the laws because the local district attorneys, the local enforcement agencies are not doing it. So if they're not, if criminals see that there's no consequences for their actions, if nobody's being held accountable, they're just going to keep doing them. So we're trying to get the Attorney General and the Department of Justice to move ahead and say, look, these people need to be held accountable. They need to be stopped from what they're doing. So the Republicans sent a letter last week saying, get off your butt. Let's get these things done.
Yeah, but that's all you can do, right, is send a letter. I mean, with Republicans in the minority, you can send a letter, you can apply pressure, but there's not much more you can do without subpoena power, other than try to convince your colleagues on the left, the Democrats, to step up on this. Do they recognize this threat? Because I haven't heard a peep about it from any of them.
Do the Democrats recognize threat? No. I mean, if you look in New York State alone, the current State Assembly Speaker and the head of the Senate, they don't think the bail reform laws need to be changed. Eric Adams, the new mayor, he says, well, I think we need to change some of these. And both the leaders of the state Senate and state Assembly said, no, we don't think we have to. That's just tone deaf. I mean, the amount of crime that we've seen go up in New York State alone because of these bail reform laws. I debated these bail reform laws when I was in the state Assembly, and everything we said was going to happen is happening now. They just don't listen. You know, we need to make changes. We need to give judges their judicial discretion back. We need to start enforcement. I mean, why are the cops going to go out and make these arrests when they know district attorneys like the one in Manhattan are just going to release the criminals on lesser charges? It's ridiculous to me. They're tone deaf. They don't understand. At least the leadership doesn't understand. And until there's a change in Albany with a new governor, until the Republicans can win more seats in the state Assembly, state Senate, until we can take back Congress, it feels like it's just going to be more of the same because they don't want to talk about the rising crime statistics. That's not good for their poll numbers.
They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it, but instead, Republicans say that they're cheating again. A lawsuit has already been filed against New York Governor Kathy Hochul over these new congressional districting lines. Hochul approved the redistricting plans, and we're looking at the plan here. This was approved last week, giving New York Jerry Nadler an enormously bigger redistricting space. And now President Trump saying that it could favor Democrats and lead to the GOP seats in Congress being wiped out by 4 seats. So you need to win a bigger majority in order to compete. What are they doing, Congressman? Is that in New York, Jerry Nadler's district? Is that fair that his district was expanded so much?
Now his district goes from the Upper West Side all the way down to water in Brooklyn. It's ridiculous. Anybody that looks at it knows that map does not follow the rules that were set out in the Constitution. There's a district on Long Island, Tom Suozzi's district, goes from Smithtown in Suffolk County, crosses Nassau, Queens, the Bronx, and goes all the way up into Westchester. I don't know how anybody thinks that's a continuous county. It's ridiculous. They did this as a incumbent protection plan for the Democrats, and as well as trying to knock out at least half of the Republican members of Congress in New York. They can't win it on the merits here. They can't win elections on the merits. If you saw the last election in 2021, there was a red wave all over New York, New York City. So now they're just trying to change the rules. They're trying to change the line so they can hold on. But another year of Biden presidency, I think we'll be able to win any seat that he carried by 20 points. They're going about it the wrong way. They're not winning it on the issues, so they're trying to change the rules to benefit them, and I think it's going to end up hurting them. There's lawsuits out there. Hopefully, judges will overturn these maps. I don't have much faith because the entire top court, the Court of Appeals in New York, was appointed by either Andrew Cuomo, I think, or Kathy Hochul. So I don't have faith that the state lawsuit's going to end up in our corner, because politics is politics here in New York. But hopefully the federal lawsuit, we can do some good with the federal lawsuit.
Well, it sounds like a whole nother deja vu all over again. The Democrats don't like the voters rejecting their policy, so they decide they want to federalize elections and push through their voting laws, and now the districting. Congressman, we'll be keeping an eye on this and certainly keeping a spotlight on it. Thanks very much, New York Congressman Andrew Garbarino, joining